So, hello everyone. Welcome to MindBody TV. I'm Dr. Kim Duramo, broadcasting here in the MindBody community on Facebook, broadcasting in my YouTube channel, Dr. Kim Duramo. I'm also checked into Instagram. So, hello everyone. I'd love to hear where you're tuning in from. I am going to share, it's a really potent topic about stop waiting and start living fully now. And the reason this is so potent is because when we're waiting, our energy is in the future. This thing, happening. I want this, and this to come into place. Then I'll feel good. Then I'll be happy. Then I can really live. Or we put our energy outside of ourselves. Like when the world changes, or when, so-and-so does this thing, or when this thing happens, but it's outside of me. And when we put our energy anywhere other than here now in the body, we lose potency, we lose power. And so manifestation can't happen the way it was designed. And we end up just pushing hard, working, trying to make something happen because we're waiting. So I'm going to share in this broadcast, like how to shift that dynamic. First of all, how to catch yourself in the act of it. What does it look like? But then how to really shift that to get the potency back, to get the power back, so that your life can all of the things that you're wanting from the true heart's desire are here and can come in and can manifest. So welcome, and I'd love to hear where you're tuning in from. Nottingham, England, Toronto, Slovenia. Oh, how exciting. UK, Montreal, Scotland, Hebrides of Scotland. Wow, that must be beautiful. Vermont, UK, hello Joe, Heidi from Utah, Marit, Merite from Norway, Rebecca from the Netherlands. Oh, hello beautiful people, British Columbia, Spain, New Jersey, Michigan in the house, Kristen, I love you too. Awesome, Montreal, Chicago, mahalo, Trevor, British Columbia. All right, I am in Durango, Colorado. Awesome. Portland, Oregon. We were just there a few weeks ago. Chicago. All right. So what I noticed for myself just in the last few weeks is, okay, so this is how the pattern is going to show up. I'm going to share because I've noticed them in myself. And the first one is complaining. Like, oh, I can't believe I had to wait in this huge line. Or, I'll be on the phone. Who was it? Oh, it was our bank the other day. I had this kind of dense stuff come up because the login wasn't working for our credentials in the banking. And then I'm like, oh, we have to call the person. And it was like, just to participate in that low frequency system. I was just like, I felt oppression. I felt just depression. And it was, so much came up for me. So here it was like, oh my God, I can't believe they make you wait so long. Oh, and I can't even stand this music. So I'm complaining. Complaining is always victim consciousness, right? Like, this is happening to me. Why is this happening to me? Don't you feel my plight? And so we complain to try to kind of get the love. I was telling my husband, because one of the things, there's a certain way to get in and you got to jump through all these hoops and use this code. And then you use this as the secondary code, but sometimes it's this other code. And he goes, this is really convoluted. And I just all of a sudden was like, I know, it sucks. And it was this complaint. But what I really needed whenever we're complaining, what we really need is compassion. I'm in pain here. I don't like this. This is not awesome. And if we can recognize the part of ourselves that's hurting and escort ourselves through it, I love you. You're doing awesome. You're doing great, waiting on that phone call. Or some things are way more impressive than that, but maybe the same energy. I love you. You're doing awesome. Let's do this, right? Because either it's something I want to do or dump it, right? I want to get this thing done to get the token working again to get into the account. I do want to do this. So if I can just get on board for what I'm doing, sometimes I really need that compassion, that encouragement, acknowledging I know this is hard for you, Kim, and being with myself. So that's one thing, is the complaint. The other thing that was really, really huge for me is this space of I'm waiting for the world to open up and get it. And I think there's a lot of people in my community, maybe you've been finding your own, the independent news outlets and really learning about what's actually happening in the world and how much is coming to a head and how much of a fallout of the old structures are happening. And it's like, this is so exciting. I've been waiting for this my whole life. I always knew there was something kind of contrived about the way we were doing it, but I thought it was just me. And now we realize, like, wow, the education system is falling apart. The financial system is falling apart. The medical system, it's all fallen apart. And there are new systems emerging underneath them right here. But then we're like waiting, like, when's it gonna happen? And I realized this because there's discomfort in waiting, right? Waiting is not the same as being in wholeness. I am here, it is here. And the reality I saw as I felt there's like a frequency difference between those two states of like waiting for it to happen versus being in the I am whole. There was a gap there. And I'm like, that's not awesome. I don't want to be in the waiting. How do I shift this? And the one thing that came in right away is, know you already are whole. Know it already is. What already is? I already am free. I already am whole. I already am able to access joy. Now, when you're in a state like a lower frequency state, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? No, I'm not. But it can just be in the subtle way because it is here now, but we may not perceive it and experience it. So how do I just even subtly come into that higher space? And pretty much every broadcast I've talked about goes into this in some way, but just presence in your body right now, the breath. And when you relax your shoulders and presence the breath, you're 2% lighter already, right? You're not like suppressing the breathing. You're not like carrying the tension in your shoulders to try to work it. You're, oh, wow, let me let that go. 2% lighter already, if only physically. But when I presence that where the shift is, it actually lets a lot more happen. Your body shifts electromagnetically. Your hormones shift, your chemistry shift, your brain patterning shift. It does bring you into the shift where you perceive all the ways you already are free, all the ways you already are whole, all the ways you already are able to live your most expansive life. So that's the other access point is like, where am I waiting and putting this thing in the future and making it conditional? Like when I get the right job, when my body finally heals, when, for me, it was like when the world finally wakes up and we have new systems in place and it's the mainstream and people get it. But I don't have to wait for that to feel the wholeness of it. So how do I tap into that now? Yeah, Joe says that waiting has been causing fear. Yeah. Oh, there's no sound on YouTube? Whoa, really? Much love from Alaska. Awesome. I love it there. A long return to Scotland. Yes, Christina. Okay. Inte, I'm feeling so stuck in my body. Constant anxiety. Yep. Because when we put our energy outside of us, that's what we're going to happen. That's what we're going to feel. Whoo. Awesome. So what else do we have here? All right. Great. Thank you for your comments and Instagram as well. Hello, Kate. Love you too. Turkey, Istanbul, Michigan. All right. So let's get back to that. And I touched on last week, how to be a better receiver. It's the same thing. What does that mean? It means I create the shift, the thing I'm looking for to get created out there or to get created in the future right here, right now. So for me, and for any of you who are like waiting for the world to change or waiting for things, thank you, Brenda, things to come in, does not waiting mean we move and act even when my body is still saying rest? Great question. Feel free within. Not exactly. No. Because what will happen if my body's like, hey, I need rest, I need serenity, where it actually needs, like whether it's love, it's acceptance, it's me entering the moment more fully, which is serenity, then it lights up the physical body and the body can move. If I skip that step and I just go to like, I'm just going to move this body because I know I can, but I've skipped the essential step that actually feeds my body into that physical wholeness, then I'm just overriding the equation. Then I'm just overriding what's here, asking for my attention. And it's the same whether it's like, in your money or showing up in your work. Jess said there's a lot, or I think it was Alicia said there's a lot coming up around work and career. Where's my real power to create? And yeah, it's not just about like, let me just knock harder on the doors or make more phone calls and then it will show up, right? Because that's the equivalent to my body's not ready, but I'm just going to push it anyway. What actually needs to be met here so that there is energy in the body, so that there is opening of doors, opportunities, and then of course I'm going to step into them. You don't need to like motivate yourself to move when your body's filled with vitality, because when your body's filled with vitality, that's just the natural emanation of like expressing that, this feels good. I'm going to move. I'm going to do this. Same thing with opportunity. The phone rang. I'm going to pick it up. The door opened. I'm going to step through that door. That feels so inviting. So how do we be the prosperity that has the door open, that has the body heal? And that's what I would like to talk about here. Katie said I didn't override the other day. I couldn't get off the couch, but I went into my head and forced my body to move. And then I stubbed my toe within 5 minutes. The body wasn't ready. Broken toe now. So, and Gail says, how do we deal with impatience? Right. So same thing. All right. So how do I instead, here I am in the impatience of either like, I'm on the couch and I want to have the energy to get the heck off and go dance, right? Whatever that means for you. Or I want to have the opportunity come in, right? I'm in this stagnation. I hate my job. I want to have the opportunity to like do work I love. How do we actually let that be created? So you've heard me say before, the only thing that can possibly be missing is more of me showing up in the now, right? Because in the now, the physical body, by the way, is your portal to the now. That's where my access point is. That's where my power, that's where manifestation happens. Your body is electromagnetic. When I show up and feel and sense in my body, either just like skin on skin, touch your body, relax the shoulders, breathe more fully. When I show up more in my body, sensing, feeling, aware, even if I don't like what I'm feeling, there's more power here. There's more of me here. There's more presence here. Something happens. Now, we'll talk about the really subtle, like what happens electromagnetically. Feel your bum, feel your pelvis, feel your feet on the floor right now. Breathe. Hi, body. Oh, here I am. I've been out there. I've been doing this head thing. I've been out of my head, right? I'm like thinking about other people, thinking about the future, ruminating over the past. Oh, wait, here I am right here, right now. So breathe, even just give yourself a little sensation, right? Like qigong, pat the body, right? You're bringing energy into the body. You're bringing presence into the body, or just gentle skin on skin. Hi, body. Here I am. Feel your feet on the floor. There's a very subtle but very potent electromagnetic shift. We're just going to talk about the first thing that happens. Lying on the couch, you're like, oh, this is loathsome. And then all the thoughts that go along with that, where you're in the, I have no money. I can't do what I want. I hate my job. I can't leave. Okay, here I am now. This is where I am. And maybe it is loathsome, but enter it anyway. It is your only access point to power. So you're like, all right, well, this sucks, right? Thoughts. There's constriction. Ooh, this is uncomfortable. Okay. Sensation. Stay anyway. Bring breath right into it. It's going to intensify the sensation. That's okay. Notice what you notice. Here I am, feeling this, thinking this, sensing this. And maybe it's wicked uncomfortable. Like maybe it's the extreme of impatience of like, I'm crawling out of my skin. There's no way I can be with this. Just do one breath. Curiosity, wow, this is really intense. What does this feel like? What's here now? Or there's the other extreme. I feel nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. Okay, that's a thought. Great. That thought is here. What else is here? Keep sensing anyway. Stay curious. Because two things happen. Your brain starts to register sensation from the, I don't feel anything, to like, oh, well, There's this thought, there's this sensation, there's what if I did feel something? There's tuning in. Your brain will begin, and it could take hours, it could take days, it could take weeks. Usually it doesn't take that long if you really practice it, but your brain will actually begin to pay attention to the sensation. I guarantee you the sensation's already registering. It is here. You're not broken. The other thing that happens is you begin to let what's here be okay as it is, even if it's, I don't feel anything, I'm broken, it's wrong, it's from the trauma I had, it doesn't work for me, I'm not doing it right. If I let that be here, even just for 10 seconds, I begin to register more. And it begins to shift. I'm shifting my brain, literally shifting the neurologic alignment, the areas that are active in my brain, just by presencing what is. Even if it feels like it sucks, even if it feels like this is stupid, I should be out doing something instead, do it anyway, just for a moment. Okay, so that's the first shift, is the electromagnetic, the neurologic. It is definitely having also a very, not necessarily instantaneous, but very quick effect on hormones, neurotransmitters, immune system, gut secretions, enzymes, microbiome, like all of your chemistry. So that's kind of the second thing that begins to shift, is your cellular environment. And we know from epigenetics, the massive, profound effect this has on your body, on your health, on your DNA and your genes, and et cetera, et cetera. Everything you are changes. But the essential thing is this also changes everything that's happening outside of you. Your electromagnetic field, the transmission signals of your body, which we can detect 8 to 10 feet away from the physical body, also shifts. You're sending out a new signal. So I was on the phone with this amazing, awesome client of mine yesterday. And one of the things she was going to do as soon as we got off was make the appointment to schedule a particular surgery. She had the alignment. She knew this was the right thing. Her body is healing. She got to the bottom of like, why am I feeling so terrible? And was really aligned with this step. So we got her like the fear released, got her body aligned with what she's doing. And one of the things she said, because she's coming to the group retreat in September, was, oh, I want it to be the right timing. So I'm recovered and then I can go to the retreat. And what about this? And what about maybe I should not do it now? And so doubt. But it's easy to feel the distinction between the frequency of doubt and the frequency of certainty. And this, for sure, this surgery was serving her, or even just scheduling the surgery was serving her. You know, because who knows how things can change. The body can recoup, things can happen, but follow the path of greatest flow. So we let all of that go. My timing's perfect and elegant. And I had the realization of like, even something as simple as like, I scheduled this appointment. Okay, it's for a haircut, but it wasn't the right timing. It was like mucking up my day. But I was, you know, I was with my son and I'm like, Kim, just get off the phone, stop trying to call and reschedule. Let this one go and it will work out for you. And either, you know, my schedule will rearrange or the timing for it will get rearranged. And I was sharing that with her, like, book the timing they have. They're going to offer you a time. Yes, I'd love that time, because it could get moved up. It could get moved back. It could get changed. Let the universe work for you. Because when you're in your own serenity, I'm telling you, like, that's what will have the person think like, oh, wait a minute, we got an opening. Oh, let me call that person and tell her. It's triggering something in their mind because of the alignment you're in. And then vice versa, when we're in complaint, oh, I can't believe I have to wait for 3 weeks and then I'm going to miss this and then that's going to happen. You're in a different electromagnetic signal. And that would have things like the receptionist thinking of you to call for the rescheduling, like you won't even be on her mind. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. Let me do this instead. So you get skipped over. It's all about your own emanation. So as soon as we hung up the call, I got the phone call from the salon and they're like, oh, if we have an opening and we want to move you sooner, and would it be possible to move you sooner? And it was exactly in the spot that like fits perfectly into my day. So I'm free earlier to get my kids. And, it was like more flow. And, it's not that important, the haircut, right? It's just, how do I create more flow in my life? Be in flow. Because the old me would have been like calling the other salon or making sure, trying to change my client or let me rearrange my day, even though it didn't feel flowy. So if I'm present in my body here now, I know the difference. And I can moment to moment, microsecond to microsecond, choose what's in flow. Or I can like be in the program of, I gotta scamper, I gotta make it work. And like be creating out of flow, right? Those actions would create more chaos. Okay. So it was pretty cool because it was the exact example I was sharing with her. Like when you are in flow, things will happen for you. So that's kind of the next piece, is like how my electromagnetic alignment creates what's happening in my world. So it's something as subtle as an appointment getting rescheduled, which, you know, for surgery is not unimportant, but it's not a matter of what we think is a big thing or we think is a little thing. It's how much flow do I get to have moment to moment? And that is a choice that can only be made in the now. So if I want, you know, an awesome trip to Greece next year with my family, or I want to have another baby, or I want to have an amazing, you know, career I love, and that there's particular things, you know, happening that I get to do. All of that is a frequency. And it's going to be a frequency of flow. You know, if I'm creating from the mind, oh, I want to have this car and I want to have this relationship and I want to have this thing. They're not necessarily flow. Like the mind thinks this is better, 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 but it might be looking at goals or certain things that aren't necessarily flow for you. But the head, you know, if we're in the head, we think this is where I want to go. So get in the body and feel your heart and breathe. Hello, Willie. My brother-in-law is here. So what's right here, right now? What do you feel when you feel your body? So whether it's like, I'm thinking about this thing I want to create in my life, more flow in my work, more flow in my business, healing in my body, finding the right practitioner, let go of the how and actually just go into the experience. What does it feel like? Because I can only feel and sense right here, right now. So you are going to begin conjuring in your body. What does it feel like when I'm in that experience? What would my life be in? I have my awesome lover, my beautiful space that I live in, flow in my lifestyle and work. I love what I'm doing and I'm receiving the benefits of what I contribute in my work, right? All of these things that are ultimately the highest expression of health. And it may be a specific, like, wow, I'm living in anxiety and I'm living in pain. All right, what's the flow of my body's healthy and resilient? I love my body. My body's in health. So feel that now. Take 5 breaths. Actually let it in. Because like I shared in last week's video, until we become receptive, we don't shift anything happening in here. So we're in the same electromagnetic alignment and the same transmission. We're always going to get the same experiences, even if they're a different color. Christina said, I struggle with a very young inner voice that keeps insisting, I don't want to. After decades of feeling life to be a forced march, how might I engage that voice? So this is for all of us who you're conjuring up the lightness of like, that would be amazing. And then there's the, but I can't have that. Oh yeah, right. I'm so far from that. I can't even feel it. Okay. So I want you to take that piece and welcome it. Right? We're like, you don't have that. You can't have that. You'll never have that. Or Christina saying, no, I don't want to. Welcome that one too. You're here as well. I love you as well. Show me what you've got. Ask this part of you to express, show me. Because she may tantrum right there. I'm so miserable. Blah, 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 blah. And you feel it. Yes, yes, yes. Invite it. I love you. I love you. I love you. Right? You're not in the one tantruming, identifying with it, which is, like I said before, the complaint. You're welcoming the one who is maybe really miserable, maybe really hurt, maybe feels like I've been destroyed, like there's trauma and something's happened. Maybe so needy. I feel like it's a bottomless pit. I'll never, ever have what I need. Welcome that one. How do you use this when dealing with toxic people, especially family members? So we would never continue to engage with something that's actually toxic when we embrace, welcome, and love ourselves. When we embrace, welcome, and love the one who's hurting and screaming right now. The one who says, I can't, I'll never let go. Yes, I love you. What do you have for me? Show me. It's all the same thing. So when we honor the self, why would you keep doing a toxic job that's killing you when you remember that flow will create more, right? Flow may be, all right, I'm going to go to my work today, but I'm going to make plans for something else, right? I'm not going to plan to be there next year. I'm not going to plan. Maybe it's even next month. Like, what is my, now that you have to think of the exit strategy, just like the woman who's like, I'm going to force myself off the couch. Be in the flow now, cultivate it now. Don't wait for the external situation to show up, for the external situation to change, for the family member to stop being what you're calling toxic. You honor you now. Liam, I love that we welcome all that we're feeling, not rejecting any of it. Feels very light. So this is the cool thing, and I will share this a lot in my work. When it feels light, you know, if we go to the like, yeah, but there's no money in the bank. Yeah, but I still have cancer. Yeah, but fill in the blank. We are overlooking the essential ingredient that does change the outer, that is what changes the outer. So it might feel airy-fairy, it might feel intangible, but if we put our attention on just that little bit of lightness, even though it seems minuscule or it seems insignificant, does it feel lighter to relax your shoulders and breathe 2% more fully? Yep. Okay, so let myself just have that for 10 seconds. And the mind's like, but you have a deadline, or but fill in the blank, right? But you still have a disease. Okay, but I'm going to have this anyway. Yes, and I'm going to have this anyway, just even for 10 seconds. Because in that 10 seconds, you shift everything. You shift the internal world, you shift the external reality. And if you're willing to practice this like all the time, you'll see there's always flow. You'll see doors open where there once were walls, which was a Joseph Campbell quote. Doors will open where there once were walls. What? Wait a minute. This physical reality is solid. That can't happen. Oh, actually, the physical reality is not solid at all. It's electromagnetic, and so are you. The sadness of not being able to heal feels so heavy. Good. This is a big thing that came up for me yesterday. I was in a private session with Damien Wynn, who's total awesomeness. And he and I, we have a lot in common in how we do our work. So he's just able to go to this depth of what was ready to arise in me and held the space. And we both held the space for this deep, 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 unthinkable heaviness. And it was a beautiful, beautiful experience to have like yet another layer and be willing to presence that, be willing to just completely be with what was moving through me, right? Because when we resist it, what does that create? You have clinical depression. You have generalized anxiety disorder, right? It actually becomes like a syndrome or a disease or an autoimmune or an MS or cancer. Yes, it will physicalize in your cells. Then we can detect it on a lab result and we can call it blah, 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 blah. Does that mean you have a disease, or does that mean you're being in a suppressive state that creates those chemical changes and those cellular changes, right? Because you're going to feel that way before the lab can detect it, way before the lab can physically detect or the MRI can detect it. You're going to feel that 2% electromagnetic shift of either lightness or suppression. So the point of today's broadcast is find the now, be in the now. Where am I now? What am I feeling now? What am I sensing now? Where am I residing now? Last month we did, I forget the name of it, but it was like a calibration of like scale of 1 to 10. Just practice awareness. Awareness is the medicine, and it will let you shift the deepest, 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 deepest densities that are living in you. How do you know they're living in you? You're going to see them show up in your life. You're going to see them show up in other people. The toxic people that you can't get away from, that we call toxic. What is this showing me in me? Or your kids screaming and you're like, oh my God, my kid's in pain. Or one of my friends told me today, wow, I'm just looking at her posture and I can feel the heaviness that's there. And I know it's showing me something, right? So can we be receptive to that? Oh, where is this person reflecting what I've been unwilling to see in me? And where can it be a gift and a key? Because I am willing to meet this. I am willing to meet the now. And I am willing to let this move. So courage is a big, big piece. Every time you say blah, 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 I laugh out loud. That's funny. So do I stay in the sadness and heaviness? Every time I come into my body, I get so sad and cry. Okay, the basic answer is yes. But the mind is like, wait a minute. Because the mind thinks that it's never ending, but it's not. Your natural state is lightness. Period, end. So if I stay with what is, so it's not stay with the sadness, it's stay with the now, stay with what's here. Because if what's here is the sadness, and I'm like, all right, here's what's here today. I breathe in, I breathe out. Hi, I see you. I see you. Hi, I'm here. I love you. Okay. What's here now may not be sadness anymore. It might be density. It might be hopeless. It might have gone deeper. Oh yeah, I have your attention. All right. Well, what I'm really feeling is, it might go deeper. Stay with what's here now. Whoa, didn't know that was there. All right. This is scary. I feel maybe a little like I can't handle it. Let me just get curious. Breathe in, breathe out. What's here? You can let this move. Whoa. When I fully presence that density, that hopelessness, that loathsome, whatever maybe it was that was under the sadness. And I breathe in and say, yes, 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 I'm here. I love you. It might be one breath. And now what's here is thank you. I feel light. Wow. I feel amazing. What's here is lightness. Be with what's here, not be with the sadness. So what people will say to me is like, I'm trying to get into that sadness again. I want to move it. But we can actually only be with what the body is presenting. So what's here now? So feel your body, sense your body, relax your shoulders, like, a little qigong practice of like, get in your body more. You're going to sense more. You've just shifted your electromagnetics. Wow, there's more of me in my body. What am I sensing? And then the breath. I mean, there's a million things we do. There's a lot of tools in the instant elevation, which is like, right, that's the instant. How do I shift my energy instantly? You're letting it happen, but you've got to use your awareness in a different way. You've got to get here now, not where's the thing? What do I do? How do I make this change? Which brings us outside of ourselves. So you want to anchor more presence in your body. That's a great place to start. Or, in the MindBody Toolkit, super simple in the book. But in the program, the instant elevation, it just brings you deeper into like, how do I integrate my presence in my body? How do I make these shifts and changes? How do I let the brain begin to shift and change? How do I let the energy release that's causing pain or causing cancer or causing autoimmune disease so that there's freedom in my body? So it's definitely more about sensing what is versus like, I got to stay in the sadness. I got to stay in the heaviness, stay with what is. Tay Rising said, are we drawing more that we fear if we let it stir and overwhelm us? That's the thought, right? So what happens is like fear comes up and then we're like, oh no, it's not okay. What am I doing? I'm creating more fear. So yeah, but what we're doing in presencing, it's not reacting. It's not judging. It's not pushing it away, trying to fix it, trying to make it go away. It actually lets the energy move, which is its natural state. Energy wants to move. That's been pushing me into releasing so much density, but it continues with thoughts that really scare and overwhelm me. So instead of buying into the thoughts, just breathe in, breathe out. Oh, there's another belief. Oh, there's another thought. Sense your body. Breathe in, breathe out. Sense your body. And I always love the Ho'oponopono. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. With what I notice in me. Right? You're not ho'oponoponoing your job. You're not ho'oponoponoing your mother. You're ho'oponoponoing what rises in me when I think about my job, when I think about my mother, when I think about my money. Whoa, there's fear. I love you. I love you. I love you. Relax your shoulders. The energy will begin to move. Someone has said, any advice on moving past trauma? It's exactly the same thing. The trauma or the residues that got instilled from that trauma will arise right here now, not 10 years ago or 50 years ago when the trauma happened. Here in my body now. Your body doesn't know the difference between the past. It's happening now. Anything unresolved from that trauma is here now. I guarantee you. If I were reading your system, we would see it. And if you tune in, you'll feel it. Oh, wow. The way I think about or believe about relationships, sexuality, my body, right? From that thing 20 years ago. What's here now? This belief, right? Or the contraction in my body from that experience. What's here now? I'm still fighting it, still trying to push it away. What if I sit with what's here now and nurture myself through that experience? The trauma will complete. I'm not saying don't get assistance or, just go it alone. I'm saying you do need to bring presence to what's here now to even be guided to like the right person who's like, oh, let's do this. I do this all the time. Let's move through this. And it will move you through the trauma. But if it's outside of you or you're waiting, you can't access those solutions. It's always there. It doesn't seem to shift. Yep, this is perfect, Shirley. Sit with that one for a minute, right? Heavy or light, the belief, it's always there. It doesn't seem to never shift. I'll never get away from this. Sit with that for a moment. Presence it, not figure it out. Not make it go away, presence it. Oh, wow. Scale of 1 to 10. How dense does that feel? Ugh, it's like a 10 out of 10 density. There's no way I'll get away from it, right? There's this thought, breathe in, breathe out. Wow. What does that feel like? What is the sensation? What is the density of that? You don't even need to name like hopelessness, right? But it is kind of like helplessness. It's always there. Nothing I do matter. When people used to come to me, my fibromyalgia, my chronic fatigue, and they were in that victim state of like, I can't get away. Nothing I do. I've seen 20 doctors. No one has solutions. Nothing ever helps me. So I would actually meet the density and I would meet it in me first, right? Like, ooh, wonder if I can help this person. I'd feel where this feels heavy for me. And let that transmute, because your body is the physician. The wisdom that comes through your body is the physician. But if your system is not a clean space, a clear space, that can't come through. Rakoa said, I feel like I'm avoiding my body more these days. I keep pushing the emotions and the sensations away. Yeah, and where do you go? Where do you go? Into the outer world of working it, trying it, changing it, doing more. So eventually, that will become exhausting, right? No, diminished returns. I can't even sustain this system anymore doing it this way. And then you'll make a new choice. What if I move through this, into this, instead of away from it? Tay Rising said, even if it keeps coming. Yeah, because your natural state is flow. Your natural state is freedom. It is an inarguable truth that health is more essential than disease, right? But then we have a whole medical system focused like pretty much solely on disease. We've seen that doesn't work. We've seen that creates more illness. So what will actually create more health? You have to be happy. Yeah, try that one out for a minute or a year. Kelly Drickty. How does that feel when you have to be happy? You have to be happy. Be positive, be positive. It's going to kick you in the ass. Because it's the same thing. If your natural state is joy, there's no trying. There's embracing what's here that is in the way of joy, right? Because like Tay Rising said, even if it keeps coming, yes, go deeper. Because presencing the density, the helplessness, that I'll never get through this, I can't, is infinitely a higher frequency than suppressing it. I mean, it doesn't feel like it, right? It feels like, no, this is worse. I'm more aware of it. No, that's because it's moving. That's because it's moving. All right, I'm going to complete in just a couple moments. Yeah, surely it's a 10. So heavy, so thick. The tears just come. So add breath to the tears and then let that breath come through the whole body. The tears are your body releasing the energy. So assist that rather than like, oh, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. Let me just collect myself. And then we shove it all back in. No, be a mess. Let it pour out of you. The body, when it releases trauma, you guys, it's messy. It's like, right? A trauma release therapist knows this. They actually assist the body in, like, you'll shake, and that's, there's tools we have in the online programs too for movement, very subtle, easeful movement, but that's going to move a lot of this out. It's messy. But if you let it be messy, what if you want to cry? Yeah. What if you want to cry? Freaking cry. Because we've been so much suppressing the nature of the body. The body's nature is to heal. The body's nature is to feel wholeness and freaking have prosperity like you've never imagined. But we're suppressing our nature. Look at all these ways we're suppressing our nature. We don't even want to let ourselves cry. We don't even want to let ourselves move. We don't even want to let ourselves be even a little bit messy. What if you made a little more space for that? The more I listen to you, the more I understand how to just be present with myself, no matter what state I'm in. Yeah, that's the medicine. That's the healer. I can only point you to it. All right, man, Shriman. So I understand not to be in resistance and instead be in awareness. So when an emotion comes up, then what do? Feel the emotion, sense the emotion, breathe through the emotion. Okay. Express the emotion. We haven't learned to do this. Like, we've learned so many ways to suppress expression. Like, don't do that. Just do it this way, right? So we learn the channel of happy, I'm fine, everything's good. And then underneath the surface is like, fucking shit. What if I also made a channel of expression for that? And it doesn't look like beating the crap out of someone or like breaking glass and throwing things, right? That's what it looks like when it's been so suppressed that it overwhelms your suppressive tactics and it explodes. So people think emotion is dangerous and they think expressing it is bad because they've only seen destructive, overwhelming expression of suppressed emotion. That is toxic, right? Okay, what if I make space for it? For example, if I am I sense, I feel, and what's here is like, this unthinkable heaviness of hopelessness, of despair, of it'll never happen. And maybe I let it make a sound. Maybe there's words. It's not okay. I'm not okay, right? It's just an idea. The idea it's not okay. Okay, I can sit with that idea. Doesn't mean it's real. Doesn't mean I buy into it. This idea it's not okay, right? That's what we do in tapping. I'm having this thought. I'm having that thought. And I love myself fully. Or we find a different expression. We move, right? Like a lot of times, and this is Qigong too. Or we go outside and we're like, All right, for me, I presence what's here. And when I'm expressing, I bring my awareness even beyond my body, even beyond myself. And I feel that and I include that and I'll let that area contribute to me because sometimes there's just a lot to express. And that can be, that feels good. Yeah, thank you. Right? But what do we learn? We learn, hey, hold it together. So we tell our child, she's 9, both of them because he's 3, but especially with Gemma, because she's learning about how to express what she feels. Tell me more, show me more, show me. What are you feeling? I love you, show me. And we let her know it's awakening me when you show me what's really in there. So tell this part of you, show me, I love you. Show me, because this is the part of you you've shut down. That is actually your guide. All right, I'm going to complete. I'll be here every week on Wednesday, 11 a.m. Mountain. We do have the summer series coming up, and there is, I'm just going to touch base on what we have coming. There is the Alive Woman program, which is an online piece, and there's a live event in September where I'll bring a small group of women through this really profound integration experience of some of the stuff we talked about here, but it's very tailored to you and like what's ready to live in you, what's ready to awaken in you, what's ready to be embraced and dissolve in you for the purpose of being more fully alive, right? Health, wealth, wholeness, vitality, true prosperity. because that is what brings the world into more aliveness. So information for that is, thank you, is on drkimd.com/retreat for either the online portion of it, only for, maybe you're somewhere else in the world, not able to get to US right now, which was that program. The online portion was very, very powerful in the past. This is the recorded version of that. Or if you would like to join me in Phoenix for our powerful, beautiful, amazing spa retreat, that is available. Hello, Antonella. Oh, beautiful woman. It's great to have you here. So I look forward to seeing you. Find ways for yourself to let that expression come through, because when you sense, when you feel the energy needs somewhere to go, find a way. In liquid dance is a really powerful way to do that. We are integrating that into the retreat and what we're doing and into the Alive Woman program. So I will give you one of my favorite ways to let energy move through the body. For those of you who are already in the liquid dance program, I'm going to be adding a couple things in there to help you find even deeper expression through that modality. So really, really powerful. We will be doing that in the retreat. It will definitely change the way you relate to reality, because your body is your interface with that. And we're all ready for so much more freedom. All right. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. I love my child to be in the school you're creating. We're creating this really incredible educational opportunity in Durango. So yeah. I love your coaching. I'm certified as a health coach. I enjoy your coaching and insights. Yeah, hopefully this assists lots of people who are, doing things more expansively in your work. So lots of love for you. Know that prosperity is in store for you 100%, absolutely, but it has to come from within. So just connect with it now, even 2% more, which might look like just a little bit more fluidity and fullness in your breath now. But that is the medicine, and that is what allows the expansion of everything. Lots of love. I'll see you soon. Bye.